That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back to the Always Depression Show. I've been saying it my entire life, 41 years old. If something could go against Notre Dame in the most excruciating way possible, it's going to happen. That's just been my Notre Dame life. That's just been my Notre Dame life. If something bad could happen, put your money down that it's going to happen. And those of you older than me, you have experience of things working out Notre Dame's way or whatever. If you're my age bracket, expect the worst. And today you got the worst. Notre Dame's the first team out of the playoff. Let's get into it. As always, do it, subscribe. I do appreciate it here on YouTube. Give the video a thumbs up, notifications on so you don't miss anything. I'm really trying to stay calm. You ever just so mad you're seeing stars in your eyes? I'm trying. I have a list of things I need to get through, and I'm really trying to keep it together. I don't know how long it's going to last. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnD@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. Notre Dame on SI, read all about it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Thanks to everybody for being here and on Patreon all season long. Hopefully you stick with us for the off season. We have some good stuff here on YouTube and on the Patreon. Okay. Welcome into the Always Depressed Show. Notre Dame is excruciatingly the first team out of the playoff after being well within the field since the reveal of the first rankings. Let's just be clear, man. The committee caved to all the media pressure. They caved because Duke won the ACC. They caved to all the media pressure. They fully switched philosophy and bumped the Irish out of the field in the 11th hour. It was the big worry you had this whole time. The big worry you had, every bit of it happened. Protecting Alabama and the SEC and leaving the door open for the Miami thing, but saying Notre Dame's better than them all the way till the end. And then when there's no games played, then we compare them at dead. The whole thing makes no sense. The whole way this thing is done makes no sense. And Notre Dame's the first one out. They went ahead and switched the philosophy they used to have Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami all this time until the point where neither one of them played a game. And they made this switch. Again, I've been saying this throughout the process. A lot of this stuff isn't necessarily what they do, but the philosophy and the argumentation they do to get there that I have a problem with. None of the argumentation for Alabama or Miami makes a lick of sense. So it is what it is. They caved to all the media pressure about the head-to-head, and then I'm serious. I don't care what Hunter, you're a dick, says or not. Duke beating Virginia, I think, was the thing that screwed Notre Dame because they could not have an ACC team in. So I got 10 bullet points here. I'm beside myself right now. The easiest way for me to do this to stay on track in the state that I'm in is to have 10 bullet points. Let's go. Let's go through them. Number one, Notre Dame did this to themselves. You can't lose 2 in a row and not be prepared for the football season. New quarterback, new DC. I don't give a shit. I don't care. New quarterback, new DC. I don't care. How about that? That's what camp's for. And you failed to prepare well enough for the season. You didn't know what you had, and you didn't know how to use it. That's your fault. So, yes, I got beef with the committee and the lobbying and ESPN and ACC and all this stuff. Yes, I have problems with all that. But you wouldn't be beholden to those groups to determine your life if you took care of business. If you would have made it in, then it's like, well, I guess it's kind of all forgiven. You don't have a home game, but you made it. You could forgive it. Now that you didn't, I don't forgive it. How about that? You came into the season and you didn't know what you had and how to use it. That's a failure by the Notre Dame coaching staff in August. That's your damn fault. So that's on us. So before I get into the committee and their lack of consistent philosophy and logic and the hypocrisy, before I get into yelling about all that, we're only in this position because Notre Dame screwed up in August. So you better do something different this time. Whatever you did to evaluate and stress test what you had in August, you need to do the opposite because you are dead ass wrong about what you thought you had and how you could use it in the first two games. And you even had a bonus week in between them to figure it out. And somehow the defense got worse after an off week between Miami and A&M. It got worse. So you messed up. So I don't know whether you got to look at it differently or you need to do more one-on-ones to figure out who can play or not. You can't take it easy. I don't know what the problem is, but I know you messed it up because you didn't know what you had and what they could do or not in the first two games. Failure on the Notre Dame staff. So that's number one. Number two, being independent helps Notre Dame sometimes. It hurts Notre Dame other times. This was one of those times. I don't care what Hunter Uradick said up there on ESPN. The guy lied to America when he said the outcome of Duke and Virginia didn't impact how they thought about Miami. He lied to America's face. They felt the pressure to get ACC representation. And the irony in this is, in the weirdest way of all, Miami got rewarded for not being good enough to be in the conference championship game, and it ended up screwing Notre Dame. What a day for Miami. What a good day for Miami. So in a way, them not being good enough to be in that game got them in and bumped Notre Dame out. Because if they were good enough to be in that ACC title game, they probably win it. They're in automatically. So is Notre Dame. So in the wildest of all circumstances, them not being good enough to be in it helped them and screwed Notre Dame. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. So there are times where being an independent helps Notre Dame. There are times it works against them. This is one of the times it worked against them. Hunter was lying to you, saying that the result of that Duke game didn't impact this. Lies. So number three, and it relates to number one. Notre Dame cannot let its fate be determined by people who are mostly conference-affiliated people. Most of those ADs or former coaches, whatever, if you get into a position where it's little old independent Notre Dame up against all of the media machine of ESPN in bed with these conferences and then the conferences themselves, even Notre Dame's power can't outweigh all of that. When it's all of that corporate media and all the conferences against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's powerful, but even its power can't outweigh all of that. You cannot let your fate be decided by these people. You got to force their hand, which apparently means if it stays at 12, undefeated or one loss, Notre Dame's the only way to make sure. Number four. What is the goal of the committee? Is the goal of the committee to get the top 12 football teams in America in? Or is the goal to be fair and everybody gets a cookie? Because the other problem you have here is you are wasting 2 spots at the bottom of this field to 2 teams that have no shot to compete for a title in Tulane and James Madison. You are wasting and throwing away 2 valuable spots there. Notre Dame, Miami, BYU, Notre Dame, whatever, Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, whatever you want to do. The way this is set up, where every little conference gets a cookie, no matter what T-ball teams they played, giving 2 of these spots away to Tulane and James Madison at the bottom of this bracket must be addressed. Must be addressed. I think you need thresholds. If you want to do the group of 5 teams get in or whatever, they need to be ranked at a certain level for that eligibility to kick in. And if you're not ranked like inside the top 25 or 30 or whatever, you got to change something. You're guaranteeing playoff spots to teams that have no chance to compete. And then you're selling me the field is the best 12. You got to fix this. Maybe you go to 16 and some of it naturally gets fixed that way. I don't know. But you're throwing 2 spots in the garbage in the name of everybody getting a cookie. Number 5. The same thing I've always said holds true, and this year's CFP committee is no different. The issue everyone has with this group is they never maintain philosophical argumentation consistency. They don't. What they do, I've been saying it all along. Here's what they do. They know what they want it to be. They retroactively create the argument to arrive there to argue it. That is different than having these criteria, working through it, and then honoring what gets spit out at the end. They do it the other way. They know what they want it to be and what it's going to be, and they reverse engineer the reasoning to arrive there. One week it's this, the next week it's that. They've been saying Notre Dame's ahead of Miami the whole time, playing better than them, more well-rounded team, whatever. And then the week where neither team plays at all, they change their mind. It makes no logical sense. No logical sense. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you value that Miami head-to-head, you put Miami ahead of Notre Dame in the first ranking or somewhere down the road, and you say they play good enough that matters now, whatever. It makes no sense to me that they're speaking and acting as if Notre Dame's head-to-head game was never adjudicated till this final ranking. Like, what is it, a magic thing where that only suddenly matters when the 2 are next to each other, but it didn't all the other weeks? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. The head-to-head should have been baked into the comparison the whole time. And you've been saying, I didn't say it, you've been saying Notre Dame's better than Miami the whole time. Till they don't play, magically it changes. If they had Miami out of Notre Dame the whole time or a few weeks ago or whatever and said we honor that dad, I could live with that. That's not what they did. Them completely changing their philosophy is what I can't respect. So their whole reasoning with Notre Dame and Miami makes no sense. What they did, it doesn't line up. It doesn't line up. So that's what they do. They know what they want. They reverse engineer an argument to make it work. And a lot of times those arguments contradict and conflict and are hypocrisy week to week. Number 6, these conference title games. We got to figure out what we're going to do with these and if they matter or not. I don't understand how they're dealing with these conference title games. They say they don't want to penalize teams that are good enough to make it and then lose. Well, BYU got penalized, and Alabama, who played horribly and had -3 rush yards en route to collecting their third loss, didn't move a spot. It's blatant, bold-faced hypocrisy. Your whole thing is you don't want to penalize those teams that play good enough to make it and then lose. But you drop BYU and Alabama doesn't drop at all. And then that lets Miami jump BYU to get by Notre Dame, and then they jump Notre Dame. It makes no sense. These people are self-indulgent, over-important egomaniacs in this room, and they have no problem just contradicting themselves to do whatever they want it to be. They don't care. I don't even think they are self-aware enough to step back and see how hypocritical they're being. They live in a bubble. But play that out in your mind. We don't want to penalize those teams that earn their way into the game. BYU did. They got their asses kicked, and they dropped. Bama did, got their asses kicked, didn't drop at all. You're telling me there's no bias here? Okay. It makes no sense. Again, if this committee arrived at the conclusion they did today, but with philosophically secure logic, I could deal with it. That's not what they did. I don't respect these people. Number 7. How does head-to-head only start to really matter once teams are ranked side by side? That's what they keep saying, and it makes no sense to me at all. It makes no sense. It's like a child's argument almost of like, what would you pick or whatever, but like the toys have to be by each other for the kid to pick them or something. It's the most childish argument of all time, that the head-to-head only gets weighed more when they happen to be by each other. And they're only by each other because you chose to penalize BYU in a way you won't to Alabama. It all lacks philosophical, logical consistency. That's my problem with the whole operation. Again, it isn't just the result. It's the path of which we arrive to it. So that whole head-to-head thing, I'm not buying. It makes no sense. Number 8. Now that you saw how this went, I feel confident saying Notre Dame failed here on a PR perspective big time. You got to read the room. And once you read the room and you see the momentum building for Miami over Notre Dame, and the ESPN bullet points from the conferences they're in bed with came out to all the announcers to push that angle. Once you saw the momentum rolling away from you, Notre Dame needed to do a media push, and they didn't. Or if they tried to, it was too late. It felt to me like Notre Dame had this thing of like, it's a little below us to go beg to be in the playoff or whatever. Like, that's how it came off. I don't know if it would have made a lick of difference or not, but now that you're out, I could say you didn't do enough to even try and push. And what you did, I know Bavacqua got it. It was too late. You needed to start it earlier. Number 9. I didn't even wait around on the show to see what bullshit bowl game that all of our good guys going to the league aren't going to play in that's worthless anyways. I didn't even wait to see what that is. But Jeremiah Love, God bless you. Godspeed in the NFL, man. And if you don't get to see Price and he leaves, Malachi's gone, thanks for the memories. You got a Notre Dame team here with the 3rd or 4th best odds to win the national championship, and they're not even in the damn field. You're telling me the playoff is working as you want it to when the team with the 3rd or 4th best odds to win the championship can't sniff the field at 10-2? And you're telling me this is all working as you planned? Okay. So, really, really painful. You're not going to see what this team could do. God bless the guys that are leaving us. I don't blame anybody who's going to sit out for the meaningless bowl game. Get ready for the NFL. Do what you got to do. Go for it. So thank you for all your dedication and sacrifice to Notre Dame. Here's the final bullet point. Number 10. What's most important from this moment is how Notre Dame responds to this negative occurrence. I need this program to be on a rampage this offseason. I need to see a new side of Marcus Freeman. And I need to see a program preparing for next year with rage, hatred, anger, and violence in their hearts every day they wake up to train between now and the beginning of next season. The only positive you could pull from any of this horrible, horrible exercise is that this may be the fuel that ignites Notre Dame to do something special next year. This is different than the pain of we had our chance last year and we didn't get over the hump. This is feeling like you should have had a chance and didn't. That is a different kind of fuel. I need this Notre Dame team to have an edge of anger and rage and hatred and violence in their hearts as a result of this, and go into next year at a different level, fueled by this pain, misery, and frustration and rage and anger. That's the only positive you can take out of this is if you believe they're going to double down on that anger and rage. And I want to see a different side of Freeman. Maintain a lot of it, but I need it to be salty Marcus Freeman, where you know this is a sticking point. That's what I want it to be. So let's recap. I'm depressed. It's one of the worst days I could imagine. I'm gutted. I am empty. I am dead inside. I am upset personally. I'm upset for the businesses. This doesn't help YouTube. It doesn't help Patreon. I'm upset personally. I'm upset for the business. I'm upset for Notre Dame. You learned a tough lesson. If you leave it up to this group, they're going to screw you. And only Notre Dame could fix that. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Awful day. I hate everything about it. I'm miserable. What do you guys think?